Hello, today we will start the second part of basic concepts of macroeconomics. So let's not waste time because today's part will be a little longer. So let's start with investment. Investment refers to the change in stock of the capital. You may ask what is stock of capital means uh, capital at a certain point of time, and investment means change in this capital in the certain point of time. So suppose I have 10,000 rupees uh, at the start of the year, and then at the end of the year I have 15,000. So there is an increase of 5,000. That's 5,000. That 5,000 refers to the investment. So here I equal to, actually this will be I equal to change in K. Uh, Here I refers to investment and change K equal to capital stock. This means change. This is delta. Delta means change. Change in capital stock equal to investment. As here it is written, change in stock capital form. Change in stock is known as capital formation. Okay. Change in stock is known as capital formation. From the viewpoint of an economy, investment refers to the total production of capital goods in an accounting year. So, in an accounting year, the total amount of goods produced in an accounting year, you can just say in a year, the total amount of goods produced in an economy is the total investment. Investment refers to the total production of total production of capital goods. Capital goods. Goods which are used for production of other goods. Total production of capital goods in a year or accounting year is known as investment from the viewpoint of an economy. So and then it is also said that investment refers to capital formation or the increase of the stock of capital. Investment refers to the capital formation or the process which increases the stock of the capital. Increases the stock of the capital, as I told you, from 10,000 at the starting of the year to 15,000. So this 5,000 is basically basically my increase in stock of capital. This is my investment. This 5,000 is that amount of capital formed in a year, maybe due to other reasons, but that 5,000 is my investment. Fixed investment and inventory. Fixed investment refers to the increase in the stock of fixed assets like plant and machinery. Fixed assets are those assets which basically are used in the process of production for a very long time, for a very long period. When I'm saying very long, more than 1 year, actually, at least more than 1 year. Fixed investment refers to the increase in the stock of fixed assets. Stock of fixed assets like plant and machinery which are used at least for more than a year. Increase in stock of fixed assets in an accounting year refers to the investment. When I saying investment, then make sure that you put this in your mind that there will be some increase. There will be some increase, or there will be some change. Increase in stock of fixed assets in an accounting year is known as fixed investment. Stock of fixed assets at the end of the account. And now this is a formula which is given, which you have to use for various reasons in your future. Increase in the stock of fixed assets in an accounting year equal to stock of fixed assets at the end of the accounting year minus stock of fixed assets at the beginning of the accounting year. Okay, I will explain to you this. Just give me a second. Fixed capital investment is also known as fixed capital formation. Okay, fixed capital investment, also known as fixed capital formation, and these are the benefits of increased fixed investment. Raises production capacity, higher level of output, and higher GDP growth. sorry, higher GDP growth, higher level raises production capacity. As you know, the more we have fixed assets like plant and machinery, basically capital goods, the more we can produce, the, the more will be the production capacity. Higher level of output, uh, the better we get the more we get plant and machinery, there will be a balanced ratio of the fact factor inputs and the non-factor inputs. So there will be higher level of output and higher GDP growth, as there will be high level of output which will contribute to a higher GDP growth. Now coming to this increase in stock of fixed assets in an accounting year. Suppose I uh, at the start I have this uh 31, so 1 4 2019 2019 I have 10,000 10,000 10k, I'm meaning 10,000, and on the end, sorry, 5, yes, 3, this is 20 2020 will be, suppose, 20,000. So there is an increase. So as it is written, increase in the stock of fixed assets in an accounting year equal to stock of fixed assets at the end of an accounting year. And here the end is 31/3/2020. This is the end of a accounting year, and the end, the stock of fixed assets is 20,000, and minus the stock of fixed assets at the beginning of the accounting year, and this is the beginning of the accounting year 1/4/2019. This is 10,000. So 20,000 minus 10,000 is 10,000. So 10,000 increase in the stock of fixed assets in this case is 10,000. So here, and like this, you can be told to find out the stock or increase in the stock of fixed assets. So, so let's see. Inventory investment. What is inventory investment? uh in unsold goods, semi-finished goods, and raw materials are also known as inventory stock. Unsold goods means the goods which are not sold. So easy. Semi-finished goods means which are in the process of production, not yet uh, out of the boundary line of production. And then comes the raw materials which uh, are important for the production process, which will be later transformed into final goods. And all these come under the inventory stock. Then comes the change in the inventory stock during an year is known as inventory investment. And sorry, inventory investment. And increase in the inventory stock in an year, in an accounting year, is equal to stock, the same like the previous one, stock of inventory stock at the end of the accounting year minus stock of inventory stock uh, at the beginning of the accounting year. Total inventory stock at the end of the accounting year minus total inventory stock at the beginning of the accounting year. And what are the benefits? Ensures a uninterrupted supply of input. Why? Because we have this raw materials, we can keep on with our production process without caring so much about input. Then we can avoid uncertainty. Suppose all of a sudden the raw material price of the raw materials increase in the market, then we can avoid this uncertainty. Because we will be with the stock of raw materials. Now, then we have the desired inventory stock, which refers to the planned inventory stock. Planned inventory stock basically are, we have the desired inventory stock, which refers to the planned inventory stock, which basically is the raw materials. These are the planned inventory stock, because there is no reason basically. So because they are not yet sold and they will be used for the production process, this is why they have planned inventory stock. But undesired inventory stock refers to the unplanned inventory stock, unsold goods which the producers don't know what to do, whether to eat them or to throw them. So undesired inventory stock refers to unplanned inventory stock, means those goods which are not sold, the producers don't know what to do with them. Now, gross investment refers to total production of, this is gross, yes. It's actually basic terms like what is gross investment. Gross investment like refers to the total production of capital goods during an year. Capital goods, as I told you, the goods which are produced, which help in producing more goods. Production of capital goods during an year is known as gross investment, in which again gross investment includes capital goods which are used for replacement of worn out goods and new capital goods which will be used for addition to the present stock of goods. Now, net investment minus, sorry, this is not minus actually, refers to the net addition to the existing capital stock. Now, why? Because this is this is only for this net investment will only consider those uh, increase in the new capital goods, new capital stock. Suppose I have a machinery worth of 20,000 and I bought machinery worth of 50,000. So that 50,000 is my net investment. But if in case I say that I bought 10,000 capital goods to replace 10,000 capital goods which is already present with me, then it will be included in the gross investment. So net investment refers to the net addition to the existing capital stock. That means this is truly an addition which will increase the capital stock. Net investment really increases the capital stock. Now see here, gross investment equal to net investment plus depreciation. Gross investment basically includes depreciation because of this capital goods of replacement. We will talk more about this later. Gross, for now, just make sure that you know this. Gross investment includes depreciation along with net investment, but net investment does not include depreciation. Net investment only includes the additional capital stock, the stock which is increasing every year. Significance of net investment, why it is so significant: raises stock capital in the economy. It actually truly, net investment truly raises the stock capital instead of just replacing. It truly raises the stock capital in the economy. That's why economies increase every year. Helps generate employment opportunities. When you bring in more machines, more supply, then you will obviously need more human beings to work. It increases net investment, generate employment opportunities, and as it generates employment opportunities, it will generate output increases, which will later further increase the GDP growth. Now coming to concept of depreciation, let's talk what is depreciation. Depreciation is the process where fixed assets go on decreasing their value year after year. So suppose today you buy a fixed asset, suppose you buy a phone of rupees 10,000 worth. Then after 2 years of prolonged usage, the phone will not remain of worth 10,000. It will be decreased to maybe 7,000 or 5,000 or 6,000. So that decrease in that amount is known as depreciation, and it basically happens due to normal wear and tear, the way you use the phone. Then the accidental damages, that means mistakenly if you just leave the phone on the sofa and then you later sit over it, then there will be an accidental damage, maybe the screen will crack. Then expected obsolescence. Now this every now, as we know that technology is changing, and uh, the thing which we used certain years ago is now at present time not so useful. Suppose those satellite phones which we used to communicate with each other when phones were first made, were considered very useful, but now no one uses satellite phones or telephones which were previously used during the 2000s, but now they are not used because people don't really find them necessary. That age has gone. We can on short we can say that that age has gone, technology has changed, so we don't need telephone anymore. Consumption of fixed capital. This happens because the fixed capital, in which the fixed amount in which the and say what is this, the machine or the phone is bought, the fixed capital at which the phone was bought, I'm sorry, phone was bought, is slowly consumed. Every year you consume a little bit amount of that total cost. Suppose it's a 6,000 rupees phone, and you use that for 6 years. So at the for every year you use rupees 1,000 of that phone. This is known as consumption. We will later read this. You want to read more about this consumption of fixed capital. What is depreciation reserve fund? Suppose reserve fund is basically maintained so that one can cope up with the loss which happens due to depreciation. Suppose there is a loss of rupees 2,000 due to depreciation, so we have to cope up with the loss. Therefore the reserve fund is created, so if the loss happens, the reserve fund will pay for it. This now there are two types of depreciation which can happen: expected and unexpected. Under the expected, we know that technology changes, as I told you. So due to obsolescence, the change in technology, the depreciation will depreciation can happen. And it can also happen due to change in demand. As we know, the market changes almost every day, almost every month, so we cannot say that what the people will like at this point of time or after a year. uh, we cannot say what the people will like the most after a month or after a year. So in that case we can say that demand changes almost every month. This is why this is also an obsolescence. These two basically are factors of obsolescence. Unexpected obsolescence is actually, I should have written this expected obsolescence, I'm sorry. All of these are actually obsolescence. Now unexpected, you can never know about a natural calamity. All of a sudden an earthquake happens. If all of a sudden the earthquake happens, your good or your machine is destroyed, or suppose you just there is a scratch all of a sudden due to a mistake, a scratch falls on the machinery, there is a damage on the machinery like that. So due to these kind of unexpected obsolescence, which are included, um, the depreciation reserve fund is kept. And the fall in the market value, it can happen when suppose there is economic recession starts, the GDP starts falling. During that time your capital stock will become obsolete. Only expected obsolescence are considered for appreciation, estimation of depreciation, not unexpected loss. Now, uh, this is for true that we calculate depreciation, and actually it's made under the law that you have to follow the rule of depreciation. That means every machine, for every machine of certain worth, there is a certain amount of depreciation you have to charge of that. So it is true only expected, and it is true that for the expected obsolescence, you have to charge off a certain amount of depreciation from that machine of a certain worth, but not in the case of an unexpected obsolescence. We do not uh, recognize unexpected obsolescence through law, but expected obsolescence, uh, actually it is because we cannot prepare us for unexpected obsolescence, right? We don't know when unexpected calamity can come, but expected obsolescence, we know that they are bound to come, they will come. So the reserve fund basically values for expected obsolescence, or we value depreciation under the expected obsolescence and not under the unexpected obsolescence. Here comes stocks and flows. A stock is a quantity measured at a particular point of time. A stock is suppose your wealth at this point of time. Okay, yeah, or suppose if you're collecting money, then at this point of time, what is the amount of money kept in that particular bank, for say particular I'm sorry, not bank, in that particular place where you're keeping or saving your money. At this point of time, what is the amount of money measured in it? That much amount will be known as stock. Okay, a stock. And a flow is quantity measured over a specific period of time. Suppose you receive a salary over a month. After a month of hard work, you receive your salary. That is over a specific period of time. A flow is a quantity measured of a specific period of time. You are given a certain amount of money, for example the wages. After working for a week or an hourly wage, the specific point of time, that means hour or week, you are paid a certain amount of money. Income, expenditure, production, consumption, and interest are basically variables of uh, flow. Stock, there is a small difference given. That means at a certain point of time, it is when stock is measured, it is measured at a certain point of time, and when flow is measured, it is measured over a period of time. Now stock impacts flow, and as the same way, flow also impacts stock. I hope you don't know what is flow and stock by now, because these two factors, or because these two terms are very important for the next part. So, mutual dependency of stock and flow, that means stock and flow both depend upon each other. Suppose there is a bank. From one end, some people are just saving their money in the bank. I'm sorry. And some people are just saving. Some people, a group of people who are just saving their money in the bank. Okay, the bank is storing their money, and then they are giving away the money as loans to another group. Okay, so here the group A is giving the money to the bank, maybe over a period of time, over a 1 year a period of time, by daily saving. They have deposited some amount of money in the bank, and this, what the group A is doing, what that is, they are giving the certain amount of money to the bank. That is actually a flow. A flow, as I told you, a flow, a specific period of time, money will flow in. So here the exactly that is only happening. A, over a specific period of time, the group A is saving money in this bank, and the bank is storing that money. So at some specific point of time, if you measure the amount of money in the bank, that will be known as the stock. The amount of money which the bank will have will be known as the stock. Now the bank also gives to B, group B, as loans for a specific period of time. That is also known as flow. So first it's I'm actually slow in writing here. Let's flow. It's flow, and here the total amount saved in this bank is known as stock. You can call it the stock. The stock. The amount stored in the bank is the stock, and here we can see the flow. A is giving money to the bank, and B bank is giving money to this group B, and bank is itself showing money. So until and unless there is a flow, there will be no existence of a stock, and until and unless there is stock, there will be no existence of a flow. If you only have the money, if you have a certain amount of money, then only you can give it to some other person in the form of a flow over a specific period of time. But if you don't have that money, then for flow and stock are very much dependent on each other. Without flow, there is no stock, and without stock, there is no flow. No one knows how it started, but it is there. It is prevalent, much prevalent in this society. So your father has a amount of money deposited within him, and he gives away the money to you over a specific period of time, maybe a period of maybe 1 month, as your pocket money. So there is a flow, and when at the end of your month you check your pocket money, that is a stock. Now, the four sectors of an economy. What are the four sectors of an economy? Household, producer, government, and rest of the world. Uh, Rest of the world mean the other countries. Okay. These are the four sectors of an economy. Household, as you know, the are the people who render their factor or services. The main consumer of any consumer goods. Producer, the one who produces. Government, you all know who they are. The rest of the world means the other countries. Intersectoral flows. Intersectoral flows means flows, as I told you, the flow of money from one flow of money flow over a period of time. Okay. Now this household. Now there is a deep relationship between the different sectors of an economy. Suppose here household is buying something from the producer, therefore the household is paying the producer sector a certain amount of money. That is a flow. We are giving money to the producers, then the producer sector also gives money to the household sector for the services we render to the producer. Suppose if I work in uh, a what you can say, a biscuit producing factory, then the producer sector has to pay me. Therefore they are also giving us money. You can say there is a very intense relationship, there is a very complex relationship among all these sectors. And here the government sector takes taxes from both the household and the producer sector. and also the household sector and the producer sector gains the different welfare scheme, not schemes, the welfare benefits like hospitals, educational sectors like schools, banks, from the government. The government takes taxes from them. The household and the producer sector also receive some of the important things from them. Intersectoral interdependence leads to intersectoral flows. Inter Intersectoral interdependence, that means all of these sectors are dependent on each other, leads to intersectoral flows, that means flow of money or goods or services between these four sectors. So this is all. Then we have this real, what are real flows? That means the flow of goods, and actually this will be written twice, goods and services among different sectors of an economy. Suppose, as I told you, the producer we buy goods and services from the producer sector. We also help the producer sector to make these goods and services. We render our what we have, our services, to the producer sector, and then we buy goods from the producer sector. The government also buys goods from the producer sector. This happens. There is a intersectoral flow. Intersectoral flow, that means the flow between the different sectors, flow of goods and services between the different sectors of this economy. Then we have the in this small flow chart, which is kind of that. Okay, in this flow chart we can see that on one end there is the producer sector or the firms, and one end there is the household sector. Now the producer sector will give away the goods and services to the household sector. Goods and services, goods and G and S, I'm writing in this way, goods and services. And then the household sector will also render the services, like the services, different kind of services. I am working in a factory, or some of you may be working in a firm as a computer scientist, or like this. We are rendering our goods, like if we give our land to the producer sector for producing something, then we are rendering our goods, and then we are also rendering our services, wages, sorry, not wages, we are rendering our services to the producer sector. So here the arrow is clear to you, I guess. The producer sector gives us the goods and services. By producing the goods and services, they give us the goods and services, and we also give the goods and services to the producer sector in the form of goods, like we also render goods and services to the producer sector. It means they also help us, we also help them. Then now money flows. What is money flows? Instead of goods and services, just take money. That's all money flows. Money flows means refer to the flow of money across different sectors of the economy. As I told you, we buy from the producer, households buy from the producer sector. So there is a money flow from a household sector to the producer sector. Producer sector pays us money for the services we render to them. So there is a flow of money from producer to household. So, so this is what this is. Just change that goods and services to money. That's all. It will become money flows. Money flows are just the reciprocal of real flows. Okay, if you consider the previous one, I'm going to money flows are just the reciprocal of, suppose producer sector are giving us goods and services. In the reaction, now what is money flows? It is a reaction to the goods and services, to the economic activity. It's a reaction to the goods and services we are getting from the producer sector. We are getting goods and services. In return, we will pay money to the producer sector. Okay, this reaction to the goods and services we buy from them. Now, in the same way as we are rendering services to the producer sector, the opposite will take place. In a reaction, the producer sector will give us money for the services we rendered to them. services we provided to the producer sector. So this is good. You just have to know that money flows are the reciprocal of real flows. Real flows means the flow of goods and services, because and money flows are reciprocal because it's a reaction of the real flows, and and this reaction happens in the opposite way by giving money. Okay, the circular flow of income. Now, believe this circular flow of income is the basic thing of any economy. Without the circular flow of income, absolutely no concept of economy will exist. The concept of economy exists because of the circular flow of income. That means income circulates within the different sectors of an economy. Concept, for example, production. Not for example, these are the sectors of an economy, the main things of an economy: production of goods, generation of income, and then expenditure, then circular flow of production of goods and generation of income among the different sectors of an economy. Now we will slowly explain what these are, the phases of the circular flow of economy. The phase 1 starts from here. Actually, we cannot name the phases like that. It's a circular flow, so there is no start, there is no end. Phase of production, that means the good or the service is produced. The producer produces the good or the service with the help of the uh, good or the service the households are rendering to the producer. We are working for a firm, that's why they are producing. So, first of all, goods or services are being produced. Then the income generation part, as we are producing the goods, we are rendering our services or our goods, our land for the production. We also get the income. They also pay us some amount of money. Okay, and basically we are the factors by which we are the factors which help in the production of the good, and they are paying for the they are paying for that factor. We are the factors, our services are the factors, our goods, our the land which we are applying for their production, all these are factors, and what they are giving us is basically the factor cost. They are paying us some money for the uh, thing we have produced. Okay, if we have helped to produce, better we should say. Wow. Now then comes the phase of expenditure. We received the money. Now we cannot just store that in the now we cannot just store that all of the money in the bank and just sit idle in our houses. We have to use that money. We have to use that money for our own benefit, for our own satisfaction. This basically happens. This basically is told in the phase of expenditure, where we spend the money we got from the producers to buy the consumer goods. Okay, so what is happening? The first production is happening, then we are getting the income, the producers, the households. Okay, now I will tell you what the producer is. We are paying our goods and services, and the producer is okay. This is the producer, this is the household. Now we this is if which will stand for expenditure and income. As we know, we are households are helping in production of goods and services. The producer also gives back a certain amount of money, that is the income we have, income generation. Now we cannot sit idle with that income, as human wants are unlimited. We uh, we spend that amount of good, sorry, amount, not amount of good, that amount of income which we got from the producers. So this is the third phase of expenditure. Now when the producers got the money, they again started production process. They paid us some money through, and this, and then we again got the money. We again bought the goods produced by the producers. The producers again, with that amount of money, they made that good again by paying, and then they paid us again that amount of money. And whole this is basically known as the circular flow of income, because this sorry, circular flow of income, because here income is the, see, the money is just flowing from here and here and again and again and again. It will not stop, and no one knows how this started, where it started, and it will never end, because how this started no one knows. But this is a truth. This resembles the basic thing of an economy. In an economy exists because of this circular flow of money. Now if you have noticed this whole process, what what we help the households help to produce on a basic scale, what we help to produce here in this, to the in the help the producers to produce is, we get the exact amount of income generated. In we get the in We get our factor costs. We are the factors who help in the production of the good. We get the factor costs in the form of income generated. We get income generated, and that will be equal to the expenditure, the amount of thing we spend to the producer. Now this is on a basic scale. In a very modern economy this doesn't take place, but this happens. This is a very basic concept of an economy. Without this, an economy will not exist. Something like economy will not even exist. But but I also agree that in a modern economy, there are much changes to this, which you will study more in your further classes, or you should say in your college days. Production, what we help to produce, is equal to the amount of income generated which are given to us, and the amount of income and generated is spent. Now surely this circular flow of income has some of the assumptions, and we will study. The expenditure is equal to income generated is equal to the production. You have to, now these are the assumptions. Only two sectors in an economy: the households and the producers. The household spend their entire income. If only they spend their entire income, uh, the equation will match. That means income generated equal to expenditure. That will only happen if we spend our entire income. Then the closed economy part, yes, no foreign government or foreign company should interfere in the working, or they should not export any type of good to our country, or we also shouldn't export any type of any good type of good to their country. This will absolutely be a closed economy, and government cannot interfere. Government should not interfere, like adding high taxes or giving subsidies. This kind of interference by the government shouldn't take place. And if all of these conditions, and there are some very minor details more, if these on an average these are the main, if these assumptions take place, if these assumptions are fully maintained, then only a circular flow of economy will happen. Now significance, why it is so significant. Estimation of national income, we can calculate the national income, the total income generated, the total income generated, and then knowledge of intersectoral interdependence. Okay, intersectoral interdependence, that means every sector will be dependent on each other. This should happen, every sector should, and it is actually true, every sector is dependent on each other. Then this is the end of this chapter, and in the upcoming video we'll start a new chapter. So thank you.